What's going on, Panthers Nation? It's Aaron Duncan here, back again with another video, here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. And this is a different style of video, so if this is your first time here, this is a little bit different. It's a little bit less formal, less polished, and less analytical and more reflective. Because here on Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk, I do recap and analysis of the NFL, in particular the Panthers. So if you want to see more stuff of that, go ahead and subscribe, man, and give the video a thumbs up. But today we're just reflecting on what happened, the retirement of Greg Olsen and Thomas Davis. A lot of stuff is just going to come off the top of the head, man. So it's a little bit different. But before I get into that, you guys let me know down below in the comments how you felt about today, man. And do you think, well, let me know your favorite memory of Greg Olsen and Thomas Davis down below in the comments. But it was a very emotional time for me, man. Like, I was at my cubicle at work, like literally crying. I was crying. I shed a tear. I wasn't crying like a baby but I shed a tear when Thomas Davis was talking. I shed a tear. And y'all may be like, oh, why are you crying? I don't even know these dudes and this and that. I mean, that's true. But the type of memories and the time, we spend a lot of time on Sundays. I tell you guys that, man. As fans, we spend a lot of time on Sundays and during the week investing in reading articles, doing analysis, giving our opinion, talking with our friends. And then we dedicate 3.5, 4 hours every Sunday in the fall to watching these guys. They're getting paid handsomely, but they're doing it for our entertainment, man. And for them to just show the emotion, the hard work, the dedication for that extended period of time to give us these great memories, you got to appreciate it. And that's why you get that emotional attachment, because granted, I haven't been a fan of any other team, but I just don't know if there's any other fan base that has an emotional connection with the city and the players like the Panthers do. Like, look at some of these former players like Charles Johnson, D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, hell, Torrey Smith. They're all still fans and they root for it. They live tweet about the Panthers. They watch the Panthers games. They comment on Panthers stuff. They talk about Panthers stuff. Hell, Torrey Smith wasn't even in Carolina that long, but he's always going to bat when he's on TV. When he's on TV, he's always going to bat for the Panthers. Always defending the players. Because a lot of these mainstream media people don't don't watch Panthers games. So Torrey Smith is always going to bat. And they're always going to be fans. Like, it's just something about the black and blue. I don't know what it is. But today was just a breath of fresh air, because this team has been notorious. When I mean notorious, I mean notorious from burning bridges with players. So many situations where former players have gone wrong. So many. Steve Smith, Josh Norman, Cam Newton, even Greg Olsen was sour. Even Greg Olsen was sour. But for them to be able to come back and have this day, a huge, beautiful display for these players, it was a breath of fresh air compared to the usual that we're used to with this Panthers team. Them getting those one-day contracts means a lot. Because we know Steve Smith, when he first retired, he didn't want anything from Carolina. He's a Hall of Fame receiver. Well, future Hall of Fame receiver. But he wasn't feeling it. He wasn't. But you see the change. Because this mantra of the Panthers doing wrong by players is transcended different regimes. There's been multiple coaches, multiple GMs, 2 owners. It was still notorious for that. But what also transcends is the community, the family feel, the family vibes. You see Coach Rivera tweeting out about those guys. He's not even here anymore. You hear all the people Greg Olsen was ranting about. J.J. Jansen, Cam Newton, Thomas Davis, Luke, Christian McCaffrey. You see this relationship those guys have. And Greg Olsen is just one of my favorite guys, period. Like, overall, his personality is funny to me. Like, he's one of those guys that are funny, don't even try to be funny all the time. It's just his voice, his delivery, the stuff he talks about. The fact that they talked about how he used to always try to control the huddle and tell Cam all this stuff and that, and it's crazy. Because Greg Olsen, in my opinion, should be a Hall of Famer. First tight end to get 3 1,000-yard seasons in a row. The amount of weight that he carried for us for years in this offense when we didn't have a good quality receiving core. He was the one guy. He was that guy, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Automatic, Mr. Consistency. Until he got those foot injuries, he really played every snap of every game. He never really missed games like that. Dependable, consistent. Great father, great player. And even better human being because like the stuff he does off the field, he's so ingratiated with the Charlotte community, especially with all the stuff that he went through with his kids and the surgeries when we were born. Him and his wife going through that. People in Charlotte showing him love for that. You feel like family, man. You guys feel like family. So you get emotional when stuff happens like that. I don't blame anybody for that. But you weren't going to catch me doing a live reaction to that. Not me. I saw some other channels doing it. You weren't going to catch me doing that. I don't care how good or bad things are. You're never going to catch me crying on social media. And if I had done a live reaction, I would have been crying on social media. So you're not going to catch me doing a live reaction to that, something like that. Something that I know is going to have me in tears. Nah. I'm cool. Y'all not going to see me cry. But I definitely shed tears. I shed tears when Thomas's speech. But what more can you say about Greg Olsen? Like, and he felt so bad because he forgot to thank Cam. You know, he's just a talker. So he was just talking. Forgot to bring up Cam. He went to the Zoom interview, brought up Cam and said that whatever. I mean, the real ones know. The real ones know that the relationship that Cam and Greg have, the real ones know, you know. Greg is always the one going to bat for Cam, giving Cam all the credit for the trajectory of his career, thanking Cam so much for everything that he's done and they've done and accomplished together. I mean, you can see the love is 100% genuine. The epic, wait till I get my dog back and it's going to be over for you. Like, that's type of the love and the relationships that him and Cam had. It was so beautiful to watch for years. And for years, it's the only dependable guy that Cam had with a revolving door wide receivers. Greg Olsen was Mr. Consistent. He was always there, always reliable, man. I know everybody's favorite memory, and probably my memory, obviously, is him catching that game-winning touchdown pass against Seattle. I'm going to tell you guys a story because I'm going to always remember where I was at when that moment went down. Because I was in Vegas. It was early. It was 3 hours back. We had a 1 o'clock game. No, what time was that game? I don't know. But whatever. I was playing blackjack. And I had my Panthers jersey on, obviously, my Cam Panthers jersey on. It was a good year, and I know we were rolling through the season that year. Like, nobody really believed in us at that point yet. The Seattle game was really what kind of put us on the map. And I was looking down at the blackjack table, and I didn't catch the snap. When I looked up, all I saw was Cam pumping and saw him throwing to somebody. And all I saw was when the camera panned was a wide open Greg Olsen. And I just lost it. I jumped up out of my chair. My chair went flying back when I was at the table. Everybody was looking at me like I was crazy because I was in the middle of a hand, a blackjack. Everybody was looking at me. I was crazy because there's no other Panthers fans in Vegas. There's a lot of other Panthers fans in the country, period. Let alone in Las Vegas at that very time and same place. So me in there going crazy, being the only one in there, it's a memory I have to this day because I know exactly what I was doing. But that's what happens, man. You have these emotional connections because you remember where you are. All these dramatic plays, the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the feelings from the game of football, the game that we love to watch, and the players that are there to provide these good feels for us. You get emotional tied to them. So I appreciate everything of Greg Olsen's career. Love that dude, man. Let's talk about Thomas Davis because I told you guys I got emotional during his speech, and And I'm always been thinking ever since then, why did I get emotional? Obviously, when I told you about that, but not like it really set in that Thomas Davis was probably one of the first guys I can vividly. I mean, I've been watching football for a long time, but he's probably the first guy I can vividly remember playing in college. Like knowing him, knowing his name, seeing him. I like vividly remember him playing in games he played. And then to see him go through that all the way to the end of a 16-year career, like it really made me feel old, one, because I remember all that and I see a guy go from start to finish to retire. Because I played with a couple guys that are in the NFL right now, so I feel old then, but they're not retired. And I played against some guys like that once upon a time, but they're not retired yet. So it just hit a little different, man. Not to mention all the memories. But the main thing that resonates with me about Thomas Davis, obviously, is you guys know the story. The 3 consecutive seasons where he tore his ACL in 2009, 10, and 11. Had the meeting with Jerry Richardson and Ron Rivera. You know, they could have easily got rid of Thomas Davis. But they decided to, he said, if they told Thomas, hey, if you're willing to go through the surgery, we'll have a spot for you when you're healthy. And Thomas Davis literally had the better part of his career after 3 knee surgeries. And so for them to believe in him, you can tell how much it means to Thomas Davis. You can say what we want about Jerry Richardson, how he really didn't care about the team or whatever, or he was a workplace creep talking to women, or he might have been low-key racist. But we still have to be grateful and thankful to this dude for bringing Panthers football to Charlotte. Because if it wasn't for him, y'all wouldn't be watching me right now. I wouldn't have a Panthers team to talk about on YouTube. No, there wouldn't be no Panthers. I wouldn't have this hat, this hoodie, all this memorabilia and stuff. No, there wouldn't be a franchise. Jerry Richardson made that happen, and there's a lot of guys that had the same story. Ron Rivera has the same story about Jerry Richardson. How Ron Rivera easily could have been fired, but Jerry believed in him. Ron ended up turning his career around, becoming 2-time Coach of the Year. So you can see how this family bond kind of transcends ownership and whatever. It's a culture. And it's the South, and it's an area in Charlotte. I know Panthers Twitter can be toxic, but fans in real life, we love and ingratiate to these guys. But I really relate to Thomas Davis because once upon a time, I used to play football myself. That's why I know so much. But I played in college. And in college, I actually tore my ACL. I did. I played running back. I tore my ACL. And I'll tell you this. ACL, it's changed a lot since whatever, back in the day when Thomas. But the worst thing about tearing your ACL is not the actual injury. It's not the surgery. It's the rehab. It's literally the rehab. The rehab is literally the worst part of ACL recovery, surgery, whatever you want to call it. I did it one time and I was ready to quit football. Because literally it's so grueling. Like as soon as I woke up from consciousness, from being under anesthesia for the surgery, as soon as I woke up, they took me to Chick-fil-A. And then I went straight to rehab. Like literally the same day I started rehabbing. It wasn't like intense rehab right off the bat. But you start working on getting back from day one. And like I said, it took me 8 months to be able to play again. And I'm still not right, like 100% functional. But it took me about 8 months. Back in the this was around the same time, I guess, as Thomas Davis, 2011. It's not as easy as it used to be. Back in the day when he first tore him, this is a year-long injury. People weren't coming back after 6 months like Adrian Peterson and running for 2,000 yards and winning an MVP. Technology hadn't advanced as much. But Thomas Davis, for him to do it 3 times, not once, not just once, not just twice, 3 times, like that tells me 1,000% about everything I need to know about Thomas Davis, just from a personal experience going through that ACL process. For him to be able to do that, still want to play, and then have the best years of his career. It's a lot, man. It's saying a lot, and it just says 100% what type of guy that Thomas Davis is. He's the mayor of Charlotte. That's what Cam Newton called him, the mayor of Charlotte. Like step to the podium, super fly, the black blazer with the jersey sewed into the back and the shoulders. the pants to match, look like a Panthers uniform. And he said that he did that because he wanted to experience wearing a Panthers uniform just one more time. And that's the type of stuff that gets you, man. Thomas, bro. Why? You're playing the strings. You're playing the strings, man. You're making it hard. I'm trying to fight back these tears, but like when you drop lines like that, it's tough. And these guys just been so thankful. The relationships, the media, from top to bottom, the organization, just the community. It's all love, man. Like, and today was weird, man. It was emotional because I felt bad and sad because seeing these guys no longer playing for us, but it's not no longer playing in the NFL. It's the end of an era. So it was a weird feeling for me. I was happy, sad, excited. I laughed. I cried. I guess anyway, Drake got a song "Laugh Now, Cry Later," but like it was a lot, man. The totality of all of it was a lot, and like I said, you weren't gonna catch me doing a live reaction because you're not gonna ever catch me crying on social media. Period. I don't care how bad it is. You'll never see me crying on social media. No shade to anybody else that did the live streams doing a live reaction, but you just never catch me doing that because I would cry. But just the memories, man. Thomas Davis, the interception of Aaron Rodgers in the 2015 season. Aaron Rodgers having a tablet, seeing the coverage, getting so mad and slamming the tablet. Epic. That's a meme that will live forever. And it was all caused by Thomas Davis getting interceptions, all the interceptions, all the hard hits, all the tone setting, the leadership, everything, all of the above. Like I said, this guy is as much Carolina Panthers as anybody. This man put his heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears. Literally, you see why he always kept that nose bandaged up, because he used to hit so hard, his nose would start bleeding. The gas right there would start bleeding. Like, this is a guy that laid it out on the field, left everything. Played till he couldn't anymore. It was just a lot. But I'm glad to see that David Tepper is trying to make an effort, because the bridge, it seemed to be burned in certain places. But it's a good thing that he did that. Thomas Davis even called out Matt Rule. He said, hey, we set the tone. We built the foundation for this program, but it's up to you to take it to that next level. Yeah, they didn't make it to the mountaintop and get the Super Bowl trophy, but they got there. They set the tone. They put the Panthers on the map. They had the whole world dabbing and celebrating. That team gave me so many memories that year. That was probably one of the best years of my life. And it all had to do with those guys putting their bodies on the line every Sunday to entertain me, entertain us. I'm just very appreciative of these guys, man, and it's a tough day. But you guys let me know down below in the comments how you felt about everything today, man, and how do you feel about David Tepper? You know, he mentioned that there's one more guy that they still have to do right by, and they're going to do it, and he was talking about Cam Newton. But was that just to save face with Deshaun Watson? Because, you know, he said Deshaun Watson wanted them to do right by Cam. That's what I made a video about. But we'll see. You guys let me know down below in the comments, though. But without further ado, I'm signing off. I'll see you next time. Peace.